let's talk about energy balance, because I think it's something that gets screwed up, skewed up, and misrepresented a lot of the time. Like, people just like throwing around calories in, calories out bullshit. Now, the thing is, there's too much terminology and nuance to the terminology that gets spread around. And like, what is a calorie? It's a unit of measure for energy. So energy balance is a thing. Like, you cannot deny energy balance. But when it comes to the whole calories in, calories out energy balance, like, there's so many different ways that can vary person to person and also within the same person. Now, what makes up calories in, calories out energy balance? There's your basal metabolic rate. There's your thermic effect of eating. There's your day-to-day living, which is your non-activity thermogenesis and output, non-exercise activity. And then there's your actual physical activity. Now, the two most differing aspects, the ones that can vary a lot, are both your physical expenditure and your non-physical expenditure, like in terms of just walking, daily movements, blah, blah, blah. But above all of them, it's that NEAT, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that can vary the most, because you don't really burn that hell of a lot when you're exercising. Most people do not. The people that do are those that are like training twice a day, athletes, those that do it for a living. Most of us don't really. Like, our biggest determinant of energy in, energy out differences will come from our non-exercise activity. So let's go down to what exactly is a calorie anyway when it comes to food. So the thermic effect of feeding from a mixed diet usually takes up about, let's say on average, 10%. It can go from 8, it can go up to 14, it can go up to 18, because not every single calorie in itself is equal in the way that it's metabolized, processed, blah, 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 because you can like separate it into processed and non-processed foods, macros in terms of protein, fat, and carbs. Like, the actual constitution of a diet can impact that percentage, because protein has the highest thermic effect of feeding, and fat is more efficient in providing energy because it doesn't, like, you don't need as much energy to break the fat down. So there is less thermic effect of feeding with fat. Carbs sit in the middle. So there's something there. And then we can talk about alcohol as well, but all that alcohol really does is it stops the process of metabolizing your carbs, your fats, and your protein. And that means that in terms of protein, it reduces your protein synthesis, so it reduces the muscle repair, all the things that protein does, it reduces that. And it also reduces energy breakdown in terms of carbs and fats, because alcohol is a toxin, so that's going to be the first thing that needs to be addressed. Okay, let's move on to exactly how this can be different within the same person. So let's say you're on a weight loss diet. The first thing that's going to get affected, obviously, if your energy levels are decreased, your non-exercise activity is going to fall way down. And to me, steps and your non-exercise activity thermogenesis and cardio in itself, they're three different things. There's your forced cardio, your planned cardio, which can be like, let's go for a run, let's do this, let's do that. It can even be like an actual scheduled walk. And then there's steps in terms of let's go around the block, let's walk for fun, let's hike. And then there's a non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which to me is more around the terms of like fidgeting. It's using body language a lot. It's taking the extra time to go downstairs, not doing a one-man trip with your grocery shopping from the car to the kitchen, and doing like 3 or 4 trips. Yeah, that also is included in steps, but it's not actually planned out. But to me, they both fall within the same realm. It's just that one's planned, one's not. So I would say there's planned NEAT and there's not planned NEAT. And then there's the actual physical activity, which I say is planned, like actual cardio and conditioning plus the weights itself. Anyway, that gets impacted when you're dieting down. If your energy levels go down, if your strength goes down, if your performance goes down, your fitness goes down, that reduces. Obviously, you're eating less food, so that will be reduced as well, but it only takes up 10% anyway. So there's not real that much of a difference that's going to be reduced there. And then your actual metabolic rate undeniably will reduce. And it's not going to increase once you, like, if you're going on a weight loss diet, say, and you're losing mass, it's not like as soon as you start eating more food, your metabolic rate's going to increase. It doesn't work that way. Your basal metabolic rate will stay the same because there is less of you. It's a smaller you. The only way that will increase at all is if you're building more lean tissue, because muscle is 3 times more thermogenic. It burns more fat. Like, it uses more energy 3 times more than fat. But that in itself is very, very minuscule. So I would not worry about your basal metabolic rate. Just know that it reduces as you get smaller and it increases if you get bigger. Like, if there's more of you needing to carry around, that's more of you doing the activities, blah, blah, blah. And also, your organs have to do more work if there is more of you. So, yeah. So that gets impacted, and everything else gets impacted if you're on the weight loss diet. And then if you think about your hormonal impacts, like, that in itself is a whole conversation in terms of how your energy balance is altered. I was saying to someone the other day that yes, you can be eating 1,000 calories and be in a calorie surplus, because if you've been chronically dieting and your body, like, another component of energy balance is your adaptations, your metabolic adaptations, because metabolic adaptations is how each component of your energy balance and metabolism is altered with dieting, with the way that you're giving your body energy. So that's something to take into mind when it comes to, I guess, the hormonal impact, because if you're chronically dieting, what's going to happen? Like, a lot of people run off adrenaline, but then if you get them to run upstairs and their legs are burning, you can be safe to say they're not actually using energy efficiently, because they're running the lactate pathway, which doesn't actually use fat as fuel. It's recycling your glycogen and recycling the free energy in your body, not tapping into the fat stores, because you need oxygen to do that. But if you're stressed out, you're not able to actually use the parts of the cells in your body where oxygen is used to burn fat and burn, like, stored glucose efficiently. I'm trying to make this simple for you. But I'm going to just go to the top layer of it all. We don't need to go into the extremes of it all. Let's just say you've been chronically dieting, your metabolism has adapted to eating 1,000 calories a day. Let's think of the fact that your car is running really, really low on fuel and you need to go from point A to point B, which is ages away. But the energy in your car, aka fuel, is running super, super low. Your check light engine comes on, like, your fuel light comes on, that stuff. What's the first thing you're going to do? Turn off your aircon, turn off things that use energy within your car. Because if you don't, you're going to stop shorter than where you intend to go. And the same goes for your body. The first thing your body is going to shut down is your reproductive system, for example. Like, if you're a male, that includes erections. If you're a female, that includes your libido, that includes your menstrual cycle. Like, you don't need to reproduce if your body's trying to freaking survive. And in this, trying to get back to homeostasis, it's trying to shut down things that use a lot of energy so that you have enough energy to do the basics of survival. The body is built to survive. So it'll shut down your reproductive system. The other systems within your body, your digestion, everything else is going to slow the fuck down as well. And that means less energy is going to be used to live, to be human, to do life, to be alive. A lot of less energy is going to be used. So instead of, say, the 1,300 calories your body needs to stay alive, it's probably using like 800, 700. And then if in turn you're not really active in itself, so say your metabolic rate has gone down to like 800 because all those processes have been shut down or turned down, and then you only do like 300 extra calories of exercise, that's 800. That puts your like energy balance, or what is needed, what expenditure you're giving, at 1100 calories, and you're eating 1,000. Think about that. That's like 100 calories difference. And then from any nuances, if you're less active one day, because 300 calories is a lot of, like, there's no way that you're going to be able to actually produce 300 calories of energy if you're in such a depleted state. And if all those systems are shut down, you're not even going to be able to expend that 300 calories efficiently. So let's just say it's like degraded to 150 that you're expending. You're actually in a surplus at that 1,000 calories. So that these are just all things to think about when it comes to calorie balance. So asking, am I in a deficit? Am I in a surplus? What's my maintenance? All that stuff it's outdated in terms of this day and age, because way too many people have been like chronically dieting. They've been trying to just get leaner for way too long. All of those different things impact what exactly a surplus or a deficit is. So keep that in mind. And I think that sums up everything that I wanted to say. So yeah.